Hey guys, welcome back to We Watch Movie. I am Mike, and the Saw franchise is back. We knew they wouldn't leave a bag of money laying on the ground. No horror franchise would do that. Friday the 13th, The Nightmare on Elm Street. Honest to God, when you hear that a horror franchise is going through trouble these days, it's almost like, oh no, here we go again. Mom and dad are getting divorced, and it's definitely my fault. But no, Saul is alive and well, and Lionsgate wants to make that money from this. So, going back to the beginning, the last thing we heard about Saw 11 is that it was going to be canceled because, mind-numbingly, even though 10 had some of the best reviews and a great box office and everything seemed like it was going perfectly, out of nowhere, it was taken off the release schedule because a couple of people behind the scenes, producers, who each had to have an agreement before anything moved forward, could not agree on whatever it was. Some of us pontificated. 3C Films had a really good point that there was a recent news story where, from like a year or so ago, where Blumhouse and Lionsgate had a merger to work on some of Lionsgate's films and bring them back to life via Blumhouse. One of those movies was the Blair Witch Project, and then that caused a big ruffle of feathers, so that's neither here nor there. But there are some theories that maybe one half of Lionsgate or the Saw team wanted to go with Blumhouse, where James Wan now has Atomic Monster ties with. They've merged. Some of those people wanted to go over to Blumhouse and do stuff there, but some people, or one half of it, may not have. That was a theory. But this story says from Deadline that Blumhouse has bought Saw. Part of Saw. Probably around 50% of Saw. So apparently, if I'm putting the fingers in the right holes on this, Twisted Pictures and Lionsgate together own the Saw franchise. Lionsgate still owns 50% of the franchise, but Twisted Pictures sold their share, which I don't know if that's a 50% situation or if it's less or if there's someone else involved, but Twisted Pictures' share just went to Blumhouse. And apparently that may have been the issue. Lionsgate and Twisted Pictures couldn't figure their stuff out, so Twisted Pictures said, hey, fuck it. Sorry, fuck it. You guys have a nice day. We're going to sell our share to Blumhouse. And now James Wan is there at Blumhouse. Blumhouse has a piece of this. Lionsgate still has a piece of this. And they're going to work together to make a new thingamajig. And that's what's going on with Saw. How do you feel? Like, process that for a second. Blumhouse is a mixed bag. Sometimes, lately, more often than not, they put out just thoughtless turds. Woman in the Yard, Night Swim. They're more concerned with like teenage Gen Z, get, Mithrigan, that new trailer that just came out. She flies like a squirrel now. It's so silly. I'm so fat. They're more concerned with that, it seems like. Pillow pants horror. I don't know why I said pillow pants. I don't know. Pillow fisted horror is what I meant to say. There's a troll that lives in her city called Pillow Pants. They're more concerned with that. And the PG-13 type. It's not really something Saul fits in at all. However, once again, they have that. They've been working with James Wan on all of this stuff. So James Wan coming back to the franchise that he directed the first film of, obviously, and having something to do with that seems like a no-brainer. So with James Wan behind, it could be a great thing. And Blumhouse doesn't always put out turds behind the toilet. Turds on the toilet. Sitting on the toilet. Look at that Black Phone 2 trailer that just came out. Looks amazing. What a genius idea they had there. Blumhouse is starting to make some pretty sweet moves. Now, again, today they did announce that they're doing Ma 2. Ma's getting a sequel, so it's like, well, you're not all the way back. They're still like, why would... I don't get it. Anyways, my point is this. I have no idea if it's a good thing or a bad thing for the Saw franchise. But I do know that the Saw franchise now has a pulse. And that is huge. That's a big deal. Now, what happens to Saw 11? I mean, they already had the movie written, they had it ready to go. Patrick Melton and Marcus Dunstan, who, by the way, were the people behind the Halloween Returns movie that got canceled before the David Gordon Green stuff happened, which sounded like it was going to be an awesome movie. That's the name of it, right? I might be getting the name wrong. I think it was Halloween Returns. Anyways, they had their part of this canceled, apparently, but now maybe they could bring that script back. Does Twisted Pictures still own part of that script, so maybe they can't use it? That could be a situation as well. So, I don't know. Are they going to just reboot the entire thing? Is Blumhouse going to reboot Saw? Oh, God, I don't like the way that tastes in my mouth. But the one thing they could get right, if they did do that, was, as great as Tobin Bell is, he's not going to be around for forever, and they could really right the franchise's biggest mistake, which was obviously killing off Tobin Bell's character early in the franchise, because as Saw 10 showed us, he is the glue that makes it work. You don't have to jump through all these hoops. Let's not kill him halfway into the franchise. That could be a thing you did if you started with a younger one, or they could continue that story. My money goes to Reboot. There's something about Blumhouse that seems like they would want it to be their own fresh thing. And also, I don't know how the rights to that script and what they had going on works. So that's interesting. But again, Lionsgate owns 50% of the franchise. It's not clear on exactly how much Blumhouse owns. Lionsgate owning it and it being there for forever gives you a safety net if you feel like you don't trust Blumhouse with this based on some of the silly dumb fuck things that they do. Lionsgate will still be in there, and the property means a lot to them, so they're not going to let Blum be like, hey, hear me out, Mithrigan should be his first victim and we'll turn it into an action comedy. Like, the guy's being weird as hell lately. But yeah, I think this is good news for Saw. I'm thinking I'm back. I'm thinking this is really good news for Saw. What do you guys think? How do we feel? How are we feeling about this news? Crazy day. Crazy news story. All right, I'm going to see Dangerous Animals. Review up for that tomorrow. If you're new here, be sure to click subscribe. You'll get all the updates on all your favorite horror franchises here at We Watched Movie, and live streams every week as well. And I love your fucking faces. I will see you guys so soon. Why am I still doing this with my arms?